Alrighty, hosses, welcome back, and in this video what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you guys how to populate your table from an actual data source instead of just writing the word bacon in every single row, because I don't know, maybe you want to do that, but it's probably pretty useful if you got your data from something like an array or a tuple, or I don't know, maybe you're connecting to a MySQL database, whatever. What I did already before this tutorial though is I made some quick tuples. I didn't want to, have you guys sit here for like 2 minutes and watch me type everything out. So I made one called people, which is just a list of people and what state they live in. And also, if you want to use this one, here are just a list of some of my videos and how many videos are in each playlist. So again, just copy this down or just make your own real quick, whatever. But now that we have some kind of data source, the first thing that we need to do is this. Instead of just returning 3, saying, okay, I want to create 3 rows no matter what I actually want to do is go to the data source and say the number of rows that we create in each table is actually dependent on how many items are in your data source. For example, if you're making a table of people, your table would have 3 rows. If you're making a table for videos, it would have 5 rows. So it isn't just a hard-coded number like this, it's going to be dynamic. And this is actually really easy. So instead of returning just a plain integer, what I want to do, in this example I'll just use people. Why not? So what you do is you take your data source, whatever it is, mine is called people, and you count the items or elements in it. So again, this is returning 3, but it's doing it smartly, because if we were to ever add one more, then it would return 4, so on and so forth, and we wouldn't have to change the code right here. So now, instead of just returning the word bacon, what I can do is this. So now, since each of these items in the tuple consists of 2 pieces of information, a name and a location for each item, let's go ahead and extract that data into 2 different variables. And we can actually do it all in one line. If we just write something like person name, and we'll just write person location, and then we take this and set it equal to people, which is the tuple, and I'll show you guys what I'm doing in just a second. So index path dot row. All right, so check this out. Actually, let me tighten this up just a bit. All right, so remember, what this method is going to do is it's going to be called every single time we want to create a new row. Now before, what we did is we just returned the cell with the word bacon in it, and that's why it stuck bacon into every single one. But what we're doing here is we're saying, okay, go to this tuple, and the contents that we want to return is dependent on where you're at in your loop. Now, how do we do that? Well, this index path row, this is a variable that gets passed into us whenever it's creating our table. So the very first time it calls this method, index path is going to be 0. The next time when it tries to create the next row, it's going to be 1. And the last time, since there are only 3 rows in this table, it's going to be 2. So 0, 1, and 2. Well, what we want to do for that is we just want to say, okay, the data that we want to return for 0, 1, and 2 is plug that 0 as your people tuple. So the first time it's going to return Bucky Roberts, the second time it's going to return Lisa Tucker, and the third time it's going to return Emma Hot Pocket. So again, we can use that number in conjunction with our tuple to return the proper data. Pretty stinking awesome. But now all we did is we took that data and we saved it in variables. We didn't actually use it in any kind of like special way. So we can do that right now. So if we take that cell, which is just blank right now, and we call text label, check if it's empty, and access the property text, then we can set this equal to, I'll just set it equal to their name. I won't even worry about the location right now. So now what we're doing is we're grabbing the information on each loop, we're extracting the name, and we're setting it equal to the text of that cell. So now let's go ahead and run this and check it out. All right, look at that. So again, it kind of did the same thing. It said, okay, I'm going to make you one table. How many rows am I going to have? Well, I have to go up here and count this. 1, 2, 3. All right, so you want a table with 3 rows. Now, what do you want to, let me show this again. What do you want the contents to be? Well, every time I create a row, I'm going to call index path 0. What's the 0? Oh, that's Bucky Roberts. What's 1? Lisa Tucker. What's 2? Emma Hot Pocket. Now, of course, I'm going to take each of their names and set it equal to the text for that cell and print it out. So pretty simple stuff. And actually, let me go ahead right now and show you guys how to create a table with more than one group.